2. Welcome back to the Whatnauts Captain's Log number 242, the palindromatic 242.
Whew.
I love a good palindrome. Where every week here on the podcast, we thirst for the taste of legend. My name is Kyle Springer. I am joined by Melissa Wilkinson. Melissa, how are you?
I'm doing fine. I look forward to this night every year. One of my faves.
It is a special night indeed, because we have Ignacio Rojas back with us again. Ignacio, how are you?
Man, I have a thing to talk to with the two of you specifically. You ever eat
We're
waffles?
in trouble, Melissa.
You ever eat waffles, specifically frozen waffles? Specifically,
I have had them, yes.
Great value waffles.
I'm
know.
sure I've had the great value.
Yeah, I don't know if they're
that's
great
the
value.
Walmart one.
I've
Yeah,
tried a local St. Louis grocery store brand of frozen waffle. Doesn't compare to Eggo. I gotta have name brand
Eggo's
Eggo.
classic,
I don't
yeah.
know what's the difference between an Eggo and a waffle.
And Eggo
Probably
is
the
a
branding.
it's a major brand of waffle.
Okay, it's still
But, like-
it's still a waffle. Okay, so it is a part of my rant, I guess. First of all, what's the damn difference between a traditional waffle and a buttermilk waffle? I have no idea.
So a buttermilk
Trivia
waffle
question one.
is actually made with buttermilk, a different type of creamer, for lack of better terms. Because
Right.
as much as I jumped at the chance to answer that, I'm actually not an expert in.
No,
No,
buttermilk. Buttermilk is like a tart, almost sour milk. It not literally in that it'll make you sick. It's just got like a real intense tang to it. So like that's part of the flavor. Like a non-buttermilk waffle will be a bit milder, and a buttermilk waffle will be like a little bit more enhanced. Like I said, there's a little bit of a tang to it.
Enhance.
Okay, so I chose poorly. I should have gone with traditional, but still, it isn't. It doesn't matter for my rant because, man, your guys' waffles and by extension pancakes have no flavor. I get why you guys put on so much syrup and butter and whatever because the damn thing doesn't have any flavor.
Sometimes they don't. Yeah, there are lots of places you can go, and it's just like, these are flavorless. Like,
Yeah, sometimes they are flavorless by design. A pancake or waffle is designed to be a vehicle for a topping. That might be how a particular maker intends it. Other people are like, no, we made ours more flavor packed. You don't have to put anything on it. I don't think a great value buttermilk waffle is going to be the best example of a flavorful experience.
Yeah, I'm sure. I got some great value yesterday because I found out that my local supermarket, which is owned by Walmart, imported a bunch of great value stuff, and one of those were waffles. But I don't know, it goes beyond that. I've had your IHOPs. I've had waffles over there, pancakes over there.
IHOPs.
But it's an international house of pancakes. You can't claim exclusively America.
Formerly known as the International House of Burgers.
It's specifically the International House, Ignacio, not the American House of Pancakes.
Right. It's not a hop.
It's just like your World Series. It has nothing of the word in it. It's so international.
Good stuff. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, this is trivia night here at the Captain's Log at the Whatnauts.
Hi, folks.
Yeah, we are about to have a blast. But also, speaking of some great flavors, I have a new Mountain Dew to try.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Don't get me started on Mountain Dew.
I have Mountain Dew Baja Carribean Splash.
Wow.
Yeah, it is like a pinkish color here. It's Baja Blast with artificial guava flavor.
Whoa.
Love me some good artificial guava flavoring. But it's summer 2023 limited time alongside Baja Passion Fruit Punch, which I will have next week here on the podcast. So
Stay tuned for
get
that.
excited. Yeah. Here we go. Baja Caribbean Splash. That's good. I like that. It's
Yeah.
refreshing. It's just Baja
Hooray.
Blast, but it has like it's not as sharp. Like it has like a smoother edge to it. Do you know what I mean? Like a good Baja Blast has a sharpness.
Man,
Yeah.
Mountain Dew. What
tang
another
of the wave.
disappointment for me. What another disappointment. It's just Sprite with a ton more of sugar.
I love me some sugar though. Sugar's great.
Is there
Love me some artificial
Ignacio,
guava flavoring.
in the time you have spent in America, was there a thing you did enjoy? Was there a taste you did like?
I mean, have you heard about my rents on McDonald's?
No.
Yeah, you have some great fries.
Good. Good to
Specifically
hear.
the what are they called? The ones the spiral.
Curly
Why am I
fries.
Curly
blanking?
fries
Curly fries.
from
Yeah, I don't know
Arby's?
why I'm going from
Those ones are
anywhere
good.
really.
Yeah.
We don't have curly fries here.
Wow.
Yeah, even though we have Carl's Juniors, they at most they have waffle fries. But man, I love me some curly fries. That and a good 7-Eleven sushi.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Slurpee's
To be
good.
clear, if
Oh,
you
sorry.
did not know, Ignacio's out
Or an icy. I can also go for an icy.
in Chile.
Mhm.
We're here in America.
The United States.
Home of the
United
curly
States.
fry.
America is the country, the whole continent. I'm
Sure.
sorry, Carl. You just failed trivia.
America. America.
This has been full of all sorts of secret tests. Soda good, waffle good. What's specifically America and what isn't?
IHOP bad.
I've only had IHOP once.
Good stuff. Okay, well let's I say we kind of jump right in. Let's explain some
Yes.
kind of ground rules, how everything's happening, all that good stuff. And then we can break for housekeeping real fast and then get to the trivia itself. So yeah, this is our annual trivia night. This is our fourth year doing it?
Yes.
I think?
Maybe.
Yeah.
This is our fourth year on the main feed, and the initial one was on Patreon.
There you go. Yeah. It's a blast. We decided to do it every year, hence an annual thing that we've been doing for 4 years now. But we each have 10 questions. They can be multiple choice, true or false, all that good stuff. You know what? We haven't ever discussed a like right in thing because I don't know if we have
haven't.
like paper ready. That might have to be something we do next year where it's like as a tie breaker
Yes.
if we
Sure.
made one, right? Of like it's not multiple choice. You just have to know the answer and it's sudden
Yeah.
death.
Yeah.
All we need is for us to each buy a small whiteboard and one marker, and there
Yeah.
we have it.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
can find 10 sheets of paper. 5
Right.
if I do it postally.
Good stuff. Yeah, so we each have 10 questions to ask the group. And that's basically it. That's the
Yeah.
rules are. There are no rules, really. It's just some good
is
old-fashioned
this-
trivia.
We have many a game we play on the captain's log. Which ones have a pizza stakes? What are the ones that have an actual prize that you win?
I feel like we're bad at actually following through at the pizza bets here. I think I still owe Ignacio like $20 on the PlayStation
All
store
right. No,
from like 2 years ago.
and Alan all owe me 20.
So
Granted, we never followed up with the last one that we did.
yeah,
So I don't know who won that one.
I have no idea at all.
But yeah, you three owe me 20 each.
I'm okay to do another pizza bet if that's what we want to do. Winner gets a pizza. The two losers each give them like $10 to go buy them a pizza or something like that. But if you guys don't want to, that's okay too.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
pizza's all.
I don't know. We'll say if we win, we'll
pizza
do it.
Good.
If I win, we'll do it.
Okay, I fully agree. I will Venmo $10 to Chile.
Pizza bet is on then. Whoever wins gets a pizza.
Only if I win. If you win, there's no pizza for you.
I'll still eat one. I'll eat one to spite you.
Right.
I'll get one from IHOP. Does IHOP make pizza?
Do they have pizzas?
They have a lot of stuff.
They probably have had.
They have burgers,
They probably
right?
had a pizza burger at some point. Some sort of a pizza breakfast scramble.
They were the House of Burgers at one point, right?
Yes, that was
briefly as a marketing
stupid.
stunt. They were IHOB. Yeah.
IHOP, yeah.
Anyways, yeah, that's kind of it. But I think this is the first year that Melissa, you are an official like trivia quiz master. You've been doing this for the past year at a local bar hosting trivia. That's exciting.
Yes. Yeah, for the since October, once a week, I am a real pub quiz master. Yes.
That's awesome.
Of course, in that situation, I don't write the questions. The company writes the questions. I just read them.
You're just a
so what you're saying is that if you win, then it's cheating.
No, I think I have gained some knowledge in these months of reading trivia questions week after week. But they're not. That doesn't guarantee I'm going to know what you ask me. We don't get a lot of questions about how much is this in Celsius.
What's the difference
there
between
might be
milk
some
and
of those.
buttermilk? Good stuff. Well, with that, I say we take a quick break for housekeeping so we can get that out of the way and then get right to the trivia when we come back. So yeah, we will be right back. Here at the Whatnauts, we make multiple different shows, and a lot of hard work goes into making them, so we would love it if you check them all out. If you enjoy our shows, patreon.com/thewhatnauts is the best place to show your support. For just $1 a month, you can get early access to episodes, and at our $3 tier, a Patreon exclusive podcast, The Pilots Club. You can even get a shout out and thank you on most of our shows at the $5 tier. And if you're one of our patrons already, thank you so much. It means the world to us. You can find out more information on our website, thewhatnauts.com, as well as your favorite podcasting platform of choice. When you type in the Whatnauts, all of our shows will pop up right there. Just don't forget to give us a nice rating and review if you like the shows. You can also find us on YouTube and Twitch for video versions of the shows, trailer reactions, and live streams. And lastly, we have merch. If you want to grab yourself a shirt or a hoodie or a mug or something else, head over to thewhatnauts.com/store to pick up some merch today. We do have mugs. You absolutely can go get one
Beautiful
of those.
mugs.
Beautiful mugs. Welcome back. Here we are. A big shout out to our Patreon supporters once again. We love you a lot. We appreciate you. It means a ton. Over on the Pilots Club. This past month, we talked about chairs, but for the month of July, we are talking about a show on Netflix, a Spanish show on Netflix called Cable Girls. This is, from what I understand, it's a show that kind of helped to launch Netflix Spain. And a bunch of the content that they made there. It's a period piece set in the 1920s about a number of women that start working at a telecommunications company to be switchboard operators. And they all have their different reasons for showing up there. I had no idea that the first episode would kind of be a heist.
Yeah,
That was new. That was interesting.
they're there to
So.
steal a phone.
Yeah, steal some money. So good stuff with all of that. Go check it out. Right here on the Captain's Log, we've had like a month of games and stuff. Basically, we did a fantasy dad draft recently. Ignacio joined us at the start of the month to do our Summer Game Fest predictions, which we might check in. We'll have to see if Ignacio is free this next week, because all of our predictions have basically been answered one way or another, I think. So we can finally check in with that. But yeah, lots of fun stuff here on the Captain's Log. Over on the review show, Melissa, we just got to talk about season 3 of The Good Place. Do you want to tell them a little bit about our monthly coverage of that?
Every week on the review show, we talk about something new, a movie, season of a TV show, couple volumes of a comic. But for one episode a month, we follow through on one story all the way to its end. So this has been our third consecutive month talking about one season each of The Good Place. We just talked about season 3, and next month we'll be all done with season 4.
Yeah. I think I already know what we're gonna do after that.
Yeah.
It's a secret for now, and it's gonna be real good. So.
The Good Place sends us to heaven, and for the next ongoing monthly series, we might go to hell.
Ooh.
Maybe. Who knows? Last but not least, over on the Reactor Core, we've been doing some reactions to Secret Invasion, with a surprise appearance by Ignacio Rojas at the end of our last episode.
Sure was a surprise.
We also have a spoiler cast for Asteroid City, the new Wes Anderson movie, if you guys want to check that one out, as well as The Flash. So if you want to hear our thoughts on all of that good stuff, that's over on the Reactor Core. Yeah, that's about it for housekeeping. So let's get to some trivia. Ignacio, I would like to offer you to go first, since you are our guest of honor, so to speak. It's usually me and Melissa here week in and week out, and you pop in every so often. Do you want to start and do your questions first? You can see how much of an idiot I am, and
what are the scores from years gone past? I know I've won a couple times.
Not me.
Has
I've lost
anyone but you? And I know Kyle hasn't won. Have I won any?
I don't remember. I think you might have won once.
If you have, I think it's been at least one time. Yeah.
Sure.
But then me, I'm just a terrible.
I mean, we all know that Kyle hasn't won.
I'm one of them dumb kids. It's great.
Well, maybe I included some questions about Gundams. You don't know.
Maybe, and I may not even get those. It'll be awful. But yeah, if you would like to go first, feel free. If you would want to pass on that, that's a-okay too.
No, sure. I'll start.
All right.
Okie dokie. Okay. You say when?
Go for it.
Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Okay. Let me change it. Okay. Question number 1. Okay, so I tried to have a variety of different topics for my questions. Some are about video games for Cal, some are about movies for Melissa. Some
Thank you.
I know you both struggle with. So
you do this purposefully.
Obviously, I do.
Talent.
Of course, I do it on purpose.
You have like a master's degree in science, and you're always teasing us with science questions, forcing us to learn the metric system, your superior metric system.
And someone has to do it. Someone has to right the wrongs. Question number 1. Which of the following was not an Atari console? Was it the lynx, the jaguar, the falcon, or the condor? Which was not an Atari console. I don't know how we want to do it with the answers.
We can both speak up and say if we think it is A, B, C, or D, but just wait till both of our answers are in to let us know the correct one.
Yes.
And if we get
Yeah.
But I don't know
Yeah.
if Melissa goes first, you go first.
I have a guess. I'm gonna say C. Atari Falcon doesn't seem as familiar to me.
Yeah. Cal?
I'm gonna say the same thing. That I don't think I've heard that one.
And you would both be wrong. It's the
Ooh.
condor.
Oh.
That was not a console.
The condor is not one?
Yeah, I made that one up.
So the falcon is one. When was the falcon? Do you know?
I don't know. Technically, it's the falcon and a couple of numbers after it. I had never heard of it. I knew the lynx and the jaguar, so I was hoping that there was a third one that had an animal in there.
Nice.
Interesting. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, there was an Atari
cool.
Falcon something.
Off to a bad start.
Who's gonna keep score? Do I keep score?
I'm keeping score here on my phone. If you guys also want to keep score, feel free. That might help just to make sure we're all good.
I will keep score for my own questions that I ask.
No, yeah, I'll keep track of who got it right.
Okay, cool.
Okay. How are you guys with geography?
None?
Good, because there are a couple of geography questions in here.
He's got the whole world in his hands, right? That's how it works.
I will tell you, as a professional trivia host, geography is everybody's worst subject. Please don't let this reflect personally on Kyle and I. Most people are bad at geography.
No, I blame it on your country. Because growing up, I've always been the person that sucks at geography. And compared to your country, man, do I know geography.
Yeah, our educational system is not great.
Very well. Let's see if you can at least guess this one. Question number 2. Which of the following is not a sea? A sea, as in body of water. Is it the Caspian Sea, the Baltic Sea, the Arabian Sea, or the Sicilian Sea? Again, that's Caspian, Baltic, Arabian, Sicilian.
I'm going to go with D, Sicilian.
Yep.
D also does not sound familiar to me. Yes.
And you would both be correct.
Aha!
That's the best I could come up with, as in a fake sea. So let's both of you. Question number 3, a science question. Which of the following is not a force? So for a bit of context, there are 4 forces.
Okay.
Is it the gravitational force, the static force, the magnetic force, or the nuclear force?
You forgot one. It's called the Speed Force, and there's a superhero that uses it.
Well, you forgot another one because there's the anti-speed force.
Right.
There's a steel force.
There is the steel force, yeah. Can you repeat those?
Gravitational, static, magnetic, nuclear.
I'm going to go with static. I don't think that's a force.
I think the static force is Static Shock's friends who he fights crime with. I'm going to say nuclear force.
Either one of those, I think, yeah.
And Kyle gets it.
Aha!
The static force is the one that are made up. And actually, there are 2 nuclear forces. The strong nuclear force and the weak nuclear force.
You've got your X-Men, and then you've got your Alpha Flight.
Sure. So let's Kyle.
Guys, I'm in the lead for like the first time ever right now. Let's just end the show here. I want some pizza, y'all.
Let's see how long you will be able to keep out that lead.
Not long.
Question number 4. When did the French Revolution begin? What year? 1776, 1789, 1810, 1818. That's 1776, 1789, 1810, 1818.
I'm gonna go with the 1780 something? I have no idea.
1789?
Yeah.
I have seen Les Mis. It's not helping me. None of these questions are about who stole a bread and why.
I think Les Mis happens on a different French Revolution. I might be wrong. There is. I think that there's more than
there's
one
multiple French Revolutions. So which one are you talking about, Ignacio?
There's
this is the
French
Marie
Revolution.
Antoinette one. Yes.
There's the French Revolution.
I'm also going to say 1789.
And you're both correct.
The only like I wasn't sure on that one. I thought it took place before the American one, and I thought that's like why we kind of did what we did, because that like we saw them do it and we are like, all right, well, we can do some stuff like that.
No, it was actually the other way around.
Yeah.
So from what I remember, the French Revolution could happen or managed to happen because of the American Revolution, because the French had sent in so much help for the United States that in turn, I think, might have messed up their economics, and that
it makes sense. Yeah,
caused the whole revolution later. But yeah, you both got it.
Yeah,
and then 1810 is our Chile's Independence Day, and then 1818 is our actual Independence Day.
Cool.
Oh.
Yeah. Question number 5. Which of the following countries has the largest population? Which has the most people? China, India, Russia, or Japan? China, India, Russia, or Japan?
I'm going to say China.
That was my gut too. I'll go with China.
And you're both correct again.
Yeah, I knew it was either that or India. But
Yeah.
I was just like, how much of China is empty? Like on that other side closer to Russia? Like how much of that is just like not
true?
And it's ridiculous. Both China and India are in the billions. It's like 1,400,000,000 and then 1,300,000,000, and then the next country is such a big drop off.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So many people.
So many people. Question number 6. Which of the following is the highest grossing Japanese movie? Your Name, Spirited Away, Demon Slayer Mugen Train, or One Piece Film Red?
Question. Highest grossing Japanese film in Japan?
Ever. That's
in Japan ever.
If you go to the Wikipedia and look for highest grossing Japanese movie, you will get one of these.
Okay. So it's a movie within Japan, not just the Japanese movie who has grossed the most at all.
No, it is
anywhere.
It's the highest grossing movie from Japan.
Okay,
Period.
not within Japan. Okay.
No.
Okay. Please read me those answers again.
Your Name, Spirited Away, Demon Slayer Mugen Train, or One Piece Film Red?
Melissa, I'll let you go first.
I, uh, 'cause there's I'm not as familiar with the other movies. I'm going to say this movie simply because of its longevity, and that is Spirited Away. I'm wondering if subsequent re-releases of the film since like 2001, 2002 are included in that.
I'm gonna say the same thing. That was my thought.
And you would both be correct if it
Ah.
were had it been some years ago. Because
What is it now?
eventually
Did One Piece
Nope.
pass it? No.
I think Spirited Away was the highest grossing at some point. Then Your Name took it over.
Ah.
But currently, the highest grossing Japanese movie is Demon Slayer Mugen Train.
Damn.
Okay. It's nice to know that I was right once, even if I'm not anymore.
Yep. At some point in time, you were right.
Scores remain the same.
Kyle, you're still winning.
I'm still up by one.
By
I have
one, yeah.
4. Melissa, you have 3.
Which of the following directors has not won an Oscar? Steven Spielberg, Stanley Kubrick, Martin Scorsese, or Ang Lee? Steven Spielberg, Stanley Kubrick, Martin Scorsese, Ang Lee.
So is this they have not won an Oscar for Best Director or
So
no film they've worked on?
if you Google directors that have not won an Oscar, one of these will be there.
Okay.
And the other ones have won, I believe, Best Director, at least.
Okay.
If you want to limit it to Best Director,
I have an answer. Carl's just looking at us like the cat clock.
Kyle, you go first.
I'm thinking. I feel like Melissa, you have a better idea of who this might
exactly
who it might be.
So if I go first, you can just be a copycat.
Yeah. It's strange to me that like Ang Lee feels like the odd one out here in this. I don't know why, if that's just my own bias or not. Ang Lee just feels like the odd one out. But I also don't really know anything about his filmography besides that one Hulk movie.
Did that film win him an Oscar?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Hulk. And they gave him a big Oscar. It's one of those novelty statuettes.
Yeah.
Spielberg, Kubrick, Scorsese, or Lee? No, Kyle has to go first.
I'm gonna go with Scorsese, and I don't know why.
Yeah, is it?
Kubrick.
And you would be right. Scorsese won for The Departed. And Ang Lee won for some movie. I don't know which movie, but yeah, it was surprising that the director of The Hulk won an Oscar.
Well, he didn't win for the Hulk. He won for something else.
He doesn't quite a filmography. I mean, he might have won for Billy Lynn's Halftime Walk or something. I'm going to look this up. I want to know specific. I feel like I do know. In the back of my mind, I know why Ang Lee has an Oscar, but I have to look it up.
Interesting. That means it is tied up 4-4 right now.
And this is where Kyle's luck runs out.
I mean, technically, I'm still in the lead.
No,
it would just be that Ignacio
correct.
Buys both of us pizza. That's how it would work if we ended it right now.
What being in the lead
it's a tie.
Okay, this is a list of films directed by Ang Lee. That I have at least heard of as a Western audience member. Eat, Drink, Man, Woman, Sense and Sensibility, The Ice Storm, Ride with the Devil, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Hulk, Brokeback Mountain, Lust, Caution, Taking Woodstock, Life of Pi, Billy Lynn's Halftime Walk, etc. Might have been a Brokeback Mountain.
Might have been Life of Pi if you did that one.
Who knows?
Yeah. There's a way
Only
of
he had
knowing.
some technology to know.
Yep.
What question are we on?
This one is gonna be number 8.
Cool.
Which one is heavier, a kilogram or a pound?
Both of them together when they make the
Mm.
poundogram.
With our powers combined, with our poundograms
They do-
combined.
They do that fusion dance from
Sure.
Dragon Ball Z where they point at each other. They make the poundogram.
Sure. Is
I'm
it
gonna say a
AG
pound.
or the LB.
I'm gonna
Big
say
LB.
pound 2. Yeah.
And you would both be wrong.
Oh.
Yep. A pound is only 450 grams. 45.
You say that
45
like we know what a gram is.
45% of a kilogram. That's what a pound is.
Okay.
So a little bit less than a half. So neither of you got it. Okay, you guys have to get this one. This one is specifically for your country, for something that you
What
have to
does
deal
international? What does IHOP stand for?
with. This is something that you have to deal with every day. Which is the electrical standard in a US household? Is it 110 volts 50 hertz, 110 volts 60 hertz, 220 volts 50 hertz, or 220 volts 60 hertz?
11060.
Yeah.
This is the one time I think Kyle's knows more than I do. I feel like in all of Kyle's assorted tech knowledge for owning fancy lights and owning a fancy camera and making sure the lights look good on the camera, he probably knows an electrical voltage. So I copy off Kyle's answer.
Okay. And you are both right.
Yeah.
It is indeed 110 60 hertz. Fun fact.
I knew it was 60 hertz, but that
Wait,
was all.
you didn't know it was 110?
No. I was like, 220 sounds like too much. So I'm going to go 110.
I thought you were gonna be like, oh yeah, 110 for sure. I don't know what's the frequency.
I
But
know
you need the
60
frequency
hertz.
and not the voltage. Oh my god. So for reference, in Chile it is flipped. We have 220 50 hertz.
Interesting.
Yeah. Man, I cannot believe that you knew the frequency of the voltage.
Because like the only reason I know the frequency is kind of for what Melissa said.
Yes.
Lights technically flicker at certain speeds, and that's based on the frequency of the voltage, or who knows what the correct terminology is.
No,
and your
voltage.
camera, like an actual good camera, can capture that flicker if it's not at the right settings.
Yeah.
So it's just, you have to have it. Yeah.
I can see it. Like even I sometimes forget that over here it is 50 hertz.
Yeah.
But man, 120 is something that everyone should know. 110 is something that everyone should know.
Well, you guys were talking about that. I Googled it and confirmed that Ang Lee won Best Director for both Brokeback Mountain and Life of Pi.
Oh,
There you go.
there you go.
He carried so many pies up that mountain. Broke his back.
Yep.
Poor Emily.
Poor Ugly.
May he rest
That's
in
the
peace.
crossover we never knew we needed. Question number 10, last question. Which of the following is not a Japanese company? Hyundai, Mitsubishi, Nissan, Suzuki.
Said which one's not?
Hyundai. Which one is not Japanese? Hyundai, Mitsubishi, Nissan, Suzuki. And I'm trying to not make it sound like the Japanese ones sound Japanese. You don't get any hints.
I'm going to go with Hyundai.
I'm going to say Suzuki.
Oh my god, Kyle, you're in the lead.
What?
It is Hyundai. Hyundai is
Where
South
is it?
Korean.
Thank you,
Oh my
Duolingo
God.
Korean. That made me say
Wow.
Hyundai a number of times.
Wait, is it
because-
Hyundai?
Yeah. They're
Ah,
I drive
Korean,
a Hyundai. I've been
one.
thinking it's been a Japanese car the entire time it and I have shared a life.
Nope.
What
It
else
is-
don't I know? Is my wife a scroll?
did you know that Samsung is South Korean?
Yes.
Yeah.
I knew that
Yeah,
one too.
I knew that I wanted to do one like that because I knew like there's some common companies like all of these ones and Samsung that I know. Ones are Japanese and one is South Korean. So I went in to look at which ones are South Korean, and that's when I noticed that hey, I can make all of these be car brands.
Yep. Absolutely.
So how
Honda
you want?
is Japanese. Hyundai is Korean.
Yeah, Honda, and then that's Mitsubishi and Suzuki.
Walking away victorious from round one.
Yeah, but how
Now
long will you be able to keep that leak?
Right?
Now
Yeah.
I'm just upset
Who
at my
knows?
local Hyundai dealership for not putting like a Korean flag up or telling me when it like having a sale for a Korean holiday.
I mean,
Like, why don't I know my car's heritage
Yeah.
better?
There is some they do. I think it is Hyundai. What was it called? Hyundai.
Hyundai. Yeah.
Hyundai. I think that the one that's closest to me has a South Korean flag.
You never know.
I got to
You
talk
never
to Ed Napleton and ask him to show a little bit more
Come on down
cultural
to
pride in the
Napleton
cars he
Hyundai.
sells.
Good stuff. Well, Melissa, I know you wanted to go last. You wanted to do
Yes.
the third round, which means it is my turn to ask some of the questions here. So we'll start with this one. In 1985, astronauts had the first sip of soda in space. What was the first soda in space? Was it Pepsi, Coke, Sprite, or Dr. Pepper?
So
What year was this?
1985.
Ooh.
I'll go Pepsi.
I also want to say Pepsi. That might
It
have been
feels
part of the
like
big
something that they
Pepsi
would have done.
generation push.
Yeah, it sounds like something they would have done.
Close. It was Coca-Cola.
Oh
Because
my
of course
God.
it
Please.
was.
Coke already has all of Earth. I thought Pepsi would try
Right?
and beat him to space.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like, or I think that Pepsi would pay for that, and I think that they would just bring in Coke just because they want Coke.
Yeah,
They love Pib.
right. Pib extra. I actually had down Mr. Pib as my fourth option, but I was like, that feels more like a 90s soda rather like than in the 80s. So I was like, Dr. Pepper, because he's now got his doctorate, right?
Right. That's a scientific soda.
Exactly.
That's how he got his degree.
Okay. Question number 2. A fight between two people is called a duel. But true or false? A fight between 3 people is called a truel.
That has to be false.
False.
That's not true.
False.
It actually is true.
What?
Yeah. You can look it up. Truel, spelled spelled Truel. I mean, just like a but TR. It actually is, Melissa. It looks like you're typing it in right now.
I have to remember to write down questions to go in the episode description, and this one has blown my mind. This will hook in an audience member.
Good stuff. All right, question number 3. The speed of a computer mouse is measured in MPS. What does the M stand for? Is it millimeters? Is it Mortons? Is it micrometers or is it Mickeys?
Mickey's per mouse. Ow. I don't know, a micron.
I said we had micrometers. Once again, the possible answers are millimeters, Mortons, micrometers, or Mickeys.
Okay, micron I think is a word. I don't trust micrometers, so now I'm going to say millimeters.
Okay.
Yeah, it has to be millimeters. Micrometers would be way too small.
Micrometers would be way too small. I don't know if they're a real thing or not. I made that one up, I think. Millimeters is also not the answer. It is not Morton's. It is, in fact, Mickey's. Mickey's
what are they
per
measuring?
second. I don't know exactly how long a Mickey is, but that is apparently what
is a Mickey
speed.
Is a Mickey a unit of time or a unit of distance?
I would assume
it has to be distance.
Distance, yeah, because they're measuring
Show
speed.
me a Mickey ruler.
Mickey
no,
ruler.
A micrometer is a thing.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Or maybe it would be a micron at that point.
It might be a micron.
It would be a
I don't know.
micrometer.
I have no idea.
Yeah, it would be a micrometer. Yeah.
All right. Switching over to some like comic book movie related stuff here. Showcase number 4, published in October of 1956, introduced the world to Barry Allen, aka The Flash, and ushered in what is known as the Silver Age of comics. But Barry was not the first Flash. What is the name of the original Flash? Is it James Gannon, Carmine Infantino, Jay Garrick, or Alan Scott?
See, I know this one, so I think Melissa should go first.
I'm pretty sure it's Jay Garrick. I want to say Alan Scott is a Green Lantern.
Okay.
So is that your answer?
This is my answer.
God damn it! It is Jay Garrick.
Yep, Jay Garrick, the original Flash.
Is Alan Scott a Green Lantern, or is that another Flash?
Yes, you are correct on that. Carmine Infantino, one of the creators and artists on The Flash. James Gannon, I just made up.
James Gannon.
Imagine James Gandolfini. Then imagine the bad guy from the Zelda games.
Then imagine that.
What if they were one? They kissed sensuously.
Yeah. Then imagine they kiss. Okay, let's see here. This is question number 5. There have been 3 live-action adaptations of The Flash, 2 television series, and a movie. A few actors have appeared in 2 of those 3 versions. Which actor has only appeared in a single version?
Oh.
Is it Mark Hamill, John Wesley Shipp, Ezra Miller, or Tom Cavanaugh?
Okay, so there have been 3 Please start over.
Sure.
I was Googling electricity.
What is a Mickey? There have been 3 live-action adaptions of The Flash, 2 television series, and a movie. A few actors have appeared in 2 of the 3 versions. But which actor has only appeared in a single version? Is it Mark Hamill, John Wesley Shipp, Ezra Miller, or Tom Cavanaugh?
Uh, I'm not sure if I know who Tom Cavanaugh is. I know Ezra Miller was in the movie and also appeared on the TV show, the CW one. John Wesley Shipp was the previous TV Flash, but I don't know if he like came back in the CW Flash. I'm going to say Mark Hamill. Chances are very high Mark Hamill was in the CW Flash at some point, but I don't know where he was in his career at the time of old Flash.
Okay. So you say Mark Hamill, right?
I say so.
The answer would be Tom Cavanaugh.
Ignacio, you are correct.
Yep.
Oh,
Cavanaugh
who is? I don't know if I know who Tom Cavanaugh is.
He's Malfoy, right?
No. No.
Wait,
that
which one was Tom Cavanaugh?
Tom Cavanaugh was the God. He's the one that plays multiple of the same character in the CW Flash.
Oh my God! Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, all the different multiverse versions.
The Malfoy actor was in the Flash.
He was, yeah, but he was not on my list here. Yeah, so Mark Hamill played.
That's Malfoy.
Mark Hamill played the trickster in the original Flash TV show, which is then what got him the role as the Joker on Batman the Animated Series.
Oh gosh!
And then he came back on the CW show to reprise his role as the trickster.
Very
which
nice.
Was a lot of fun. John Wesley Shipp, Melissa, you were correct to say that he was the one that played the Flash in the original TV adaptation. He ended up playing Barry's father in the CW.
Well, he played 3 characters.
One, and then yes, you do get an alternate universe version of him where he plays Jay Garrick, right?
Yeah, and then he came back as his original Flash.
Yeah. For that crossover one. And then, Melissa, you were also correct that Ezra Miller was in the movie and then made an appearance on the CW.
But I know some things sometimes. I just don't know what you guys are asking me.
That's fair. I spent the most time on this question on like how to word this or what to say. I'm like, do I want John Wesley Shipp to be the answer? I don't think he played the original Flash on the CW. Oh no, wait, he did. All right, now I have to rearrange everything, and yeah,
that was a good one.
So there you go. Next up, this one I did not know this one. I just happened upon this as I was looking up like comic book trivia and such. Marvel Comics went bankrupt in the 1990s. As a result, the movie rights to their characters were sold to numerous studios. What celebrity wanted to buy Spider-Man and then, when turned down, offered to buy all of Marvel and also got turned down?
I know this one.
Is the answer Michael Jackson, Bruce Willis, Sting, or Sinbad?
That really sounds like a Michael Jackson maneuver.
Michael Jackson, okay. Ignacio?
God damn it, again. It is Michael Jackson. He wanted to be Spider-Man.
Yep, absolutely. That's one of those, like, if you don't know it, it's just like, wait, what? He wanted to buy Spider-Man? What is going on? And then, yeah, there's like interviews of Stan Lee being like, so Michael called me one day and he was like, Stan, I want to buy Spider-Man. And we were like, no. And he was like, well, how about all of Marvel then?
I love the idea of a smaller celebrity like Sinbad going to Marvel. Like, I've got this much money. Who can I have? And they're like,
right,
we can give you Crusher Creel?
Man, I don't want no Crusher Creel. I want Turbo Man. Good stuff. Yeah, I did not know that one here. This will be an interesting one. True or false? Microsoft's AI equivalent of Apple's Siri is named after a video game character. True or false? Microsoft's AI equivalent to Apple's Siri is named after a video game character. True or false? Yes, Melissa from the whatnauts.com. You have a question. Let's go.
No, Ignacio, do you have your answer already locked in?
I think I do. I think I remember what it was called.
Then I will go ahead and say false.
It is
They
true.
did not name the AI after
it is Cortana. It is true.
Ignacio gets the point. It's named Cortana from Halo.
I thought it was the other way around. I thought they made Cortana and then Cortana appeared in Halo. I thought that's what the trick was.
No, Halo's from 2001.
I don't know how old Halo is.
The greatest trick the Master Chief ever played was convincing that Cortana came first.
This is not my year for trivia. What a poor showing after hosting trivia dozens and dozens of times.
Well,
I'm here to flop tonight.
That being said, Melissa, you are currently in the lead with 7 points.
Oh.
I'm in second place right now with 6, but obviously I'm the one asking the questions right now, so it'll just be you two getting points for a bit. Ignacio, you have 4 points on the board right now, so that's where things are standing.
Okay.
Last video game related question here. In 1993, Mortal Kombat famously came under legal scrutiny, which resulted in the creation of the ESRB, the U.S. organization that rates video games. Mm-hmm. What was the other lesser-known video game cited in the creation of the ESRB? Is it Night Trap, Gunstar Heroes, Virtua Fighter, or Doom?
I've got my answer.
Okay. Ignacio's deep in thought right now.
I think I got mine.
Who wants to go first?
I say A, Night Trap.
Melissa says Night Trap.
Yeah,
Ignacio, what do you say? It's a trap. It was Night Trap. Yep.
Night Trap. Watch out behind you, Night Trap. They're gonna find you, Night Trap.
I had no idea there was a song.
Yes, I've
wait, that's a real
Night
song.
Trap. Yes, yes.
Theme song.
I don't know things about actual popular video games, but I do know some tales of like old video game lore and ephemera, like Night Trap, the FMV game.
Yep. Yeah. All right. Here's an interesting one. This one's kind of sports related. Kind of.
Can you believe it? What a shocker.
Yeah, exactly. Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney
oh my God.
are part of an investor group that just bought a 24% stake in the French Formula One team Alpine.
Oh my God, I forgot you're so into Formula One now.
The two Hollywood actors also own another team in which other sport. Is it baseball, NASCAR, soccer, or esports? Interesting.
Damn it, if only I had paid more attention. I don't know. He's Canadian. I'm gonna go. Well, then again, he does spend a lot of time in the US. Shut in the dark. Soccer.
Soccer. Okay. Melissa?
It's not soccer, it's football.
You are both correct. Yes.
Yeah, it is football.
They own the I don't know their full name, the Wrexham team.
Yes.
There's a whole show. Welcome to Wrexham.
When you said about them owning a Formula One team, I thought, oh man, I do not remember. I saw that story once. I don't know the name.
The news broke this past week that he bought a 20. He's part of a group that bought in on Alpine. So there you go. That was question 9. We have one final question. And if you guys miss this, you're both fired.
Oh my God.
The
Please
Whatnauts
spell Kyle's name correctly.
All right. The Whatnauts podcast was the very first podcast we made here at the Whatnauts. How many regular episodes did we make of that podcast? Is the answer 120, 116, 110, or 107?
Oh, I know it is over 100, so none of these are helpful.
Yeah, it's all over 100.
Please read those again.
How many regular episodes did we make of the Whatnauts podcast? 120, 116, 110, or 107?
I'll go 116.
I'm also feeling 116.
Well, I won't fire you because technically that's how many we did plus the crunchy peanut butter episodes. So we did have 116 total, but the correct answer is 107. We had 9 crunchy peanut butter episodes.
You didn't count those as regular episodes?
Kyle, come on. You had to specify that in the question. I was counting those in there. Of course. Come on, Kyle.
Ignacio. Why wouldn't you, right?
Why didn't you specify that? Jesus.
I always loved the term crunchy peanut butter to denote we are talking about a larger amount of content and a greater amount of detail. I feel like we should bring that back instead of just monthly ongoing series.
Crunchy peanut butter episodes. They're great.
Yeah.
It's that same creamy goodness you like, but just with some bigger chunks, right?
Is back when I was just a regular old listener and not a co-host you've been stuck with for 5 years. Yeah, when I looked at crunchy peanut butter in the episode listing, I'm like, I get it.
What is that?
I don't know how, but I understand what they mean.
That's exactly what we went for.
There's an efficiency to crunchy peanut butter.
Exactly. So right now, as the numbers stand, Melissa, you have 9 points.
Okay.
Ignacio, you and me are tied at 6.
Oh, okay.
Melissa.
Only 9 out of 20. Not a great showing.
This is all you, my friend.
It is. This is my round of trivia, and I have a theme. Mine is the Whatnauts at the movies. I have 10 questions all about the world of cinema. So these are all pop culture, not a single science question in here. Couldn't bring myself to do it. Question 1. Madrid is home to the world's largest multiplex by number of screens. How many screens is that in the world's largest multiplex? Is it 22, 25, 28, or 30?
I'm going to go with 28.
Yeah, I was also going to go with 28. So I'll go with 28.
The answer is 25.
Damn.
That's the biggest theater in the whole wide world.
So screw them.
Question 2. Staying in the world of movie theaters. According to the Cinemark theater chain, what is their biggest selling movie theater candy? I picked this because when I Googled best selling movie theater candy, all I could find were like movie candies ranked by like individual preference. This was the only one I could find that put like a hard numerical fact on it. So even though I've never been to a Cinemark, they don't even have them in Missouri. Really? They had a map of the United States. It's a blank gray area where Missouri is. I must go by Cinemark.
We have them over here. If
You
I
have them?
growing up,
How is a Cinemark?
oh, like if I growing up in the city that I grew up, Cinemark was the only chain that we had.
Okay.
Yeah.
Weird. Good to know. Good to know. Maybe this will give you an advantage. So, what
Maybe.
is the highest selling movie theater candy for Cinemark? Is it A, M&Ms, B, peanut M&Ms, C, red vines, or D, Twizzlers?
Are they not counting popcorn as candy? Oh,
No.
I
right.
wouldn't count
Right. You
popcorn as
guys have
candy.
the weird ass popcorn that's salty or buttery or whatever.
Because that's regular popcorn.
That's
I-
popcorn that should burn in hell.
It's there's different variants. You can go to a theater and get a sweet popcorn also, but popcorn is not counted as a candy. They're talking about like boxed or bagged candy confections.
I was coming in thinking, oh, of course it's gonna be popcorn, but I forgot you animals.
Popcorn. Popcorn's not
salty
candy.
butter.
I hot bad, popcorn bad.
Cal, there are a few things in this world that infuriate me. One of those things is your guys' popcorn.
It's not like sweet popcorn doesn't exist. You can find it plenty of places.
Yeah,
it's
but
just
I mean,
variant 2
sure,
instead of variant 1.
Melissa, we have salted popcorn over here, and I know how we treat that popcorn. That's the second class popcorn. That's the popcorn that they made at some point, someday, whatever, and they just have in there for the weird person that's gonna come in and want salted popcorn.
Their popcorn
That's not it.
is the equivalent of our waffles and pancake cakes.
Right? This is
Flavorless,
steerage
second
popcorn.
class.
Flavorless.
This is
Yeah,
popcorn
exactly,
that will
Cal,
drown in the
exactly.
bowels of the Titan.
Those are
It will
also
never
flavorless.
see a lifeboat.
Yours are also flavorless. M&Ms, regular M&Ms.
Regular M&Ms?
Yeah, my first two thoughts was either M&Ms or Twizzlers, and then third would have been like Reese's Pieces if they have that. I'm gonna go Twizzlers.
Okay, the answer is peanut M&Ms.
Damn.
Nobody
The number
freaking
one movie
likes
theater
peanut
candy.
M&Ms.
Yeah,
Except
who's buying
Doritos at
those?
Cinemark.
People, I believe that people opt for them because they are a bit more
Both ways, yeah.
filling. Yeah, there's some amount of a protein or nutrient in a peanut that there isn't in just a regular M&M.
This has to
Salty
be
and sweet.
limited to the United States because we don't have. I don't think our Cinemark even sells peanut M&Ms.
How about you
I
buy
doubt
more
it.
candy, Ignacio?
Huh?
How about
This
you
was
buy
the
more
data
candy?
I could find. I had to go by what I could factually find a record of. I'm not asking you opinion questions over
Cal, why
here.
don't you go out there and try to find something with flavor that you can eat? Oh wait, you can't.
I love me some artificial guava flavor, okay?
That's more sugar than flavor.
Question
I love the
3.
flavor of sugar.
What is the highest grossing foreign language film in US box office history? Is it A, in Korean, Parasite? B, in Italian, Life is Beautiful? C, in Mandarin, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon? Or D, in French, Amelie?
Ooh, I'm gonna go Crouching Tiger.
I'm gonna go Parasite.
It is still Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Damn it.
Nobody has dethroned it.
Damn.
Interesting. Is Amelie on there for a particular reason? Was that in like second place or something like that?
Life is Beautiful was in second place, but I think Amelie was
Okay.
like in the 10 or 12.
Just like up there.
I
Okay.
mean, those are all popular films, but I wouldn't have thought that they would have made that much money over there. I thought that Parasite being so popular with the media and winning all those awards would have gotten it.
It was pretty high up there, but
I feel like it
you got to
won
think back to how
awards from,
phenomenal.
like critics, but like the director said, he's just like, if you guys could just get over the fucking 3-inch wall of subtitles.
That was
Like,
And people did for a time in 2000 or 2001 when
was my
many of them
question.
went to see Crouching
Were
Tiger,
there
Hidden
any
Dragon.
Japanese movies there? Japanese animated movies in the list?
Maybe
Because
these.
I wonder
I,
if those wouldn't be counted because those would be dubbed. I wonder.
I don't know. What I googled was highest grossing foreign language film. And being in the US, it gave me US weighted results, and I'm just giving you the results of a Google. You can
Thank
Google
you,
this
Dr.
too and do your
Google.
own independent research. Question 4. Here They Grow Again is a tagline for which movie sequel? Is it A, Ant-Man and the Wasp? B, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2? 3, Jurassic Park, The Lost World? Or D, Gremlins 2, The New Batch? Which movie is the tagline? Here They Grow Again.
I'll go with Gremlins.
I want to say Gremlins as well, but I'm nervous that might not be it. I'm going to go with that
Do
one.
you confirm?
Yes.
Do you give
With
your
a
heart to the
different one,
Gremlins?
Go with a
Yes,
different one.
I give my heart
totally.
to the Gremlins.
You're right. It's Gremlins.
Yes. Thank you.
I thought I'd give you guys an easy one. You know my deep-seated
Coke.
love of specifically Gremlins 2, The New Batch. Never has a batch been newer.
Mm-hmm.
Question 5. What action movie originally went under the working title Merry-Go-Round? Was it A, Edge of Tomorrow, B, Bullet Train, C, Looper, or D, Tenet? Which movie was originally called Merry-Go-Round?
You mean like this was like the code name, like
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it wouldn't.
Working title might have been on the first couple drafts of the script until they had a new name settled. Yeah. It's not like a Blue Harvest situation where this was like a fake title to mislead people. I think for a little while this is our placeholder working title. Yeah.
Okay. Can you read the answers off once more?
Edge of Tomorrow, Bullet Train, Looper, or Tenet?
I'm going to go with Looper.
I'll go with Tenet.
You're right, Ignacio. It is Tenet.
Yeah,
God
isn't
damn it.
Looper based on a book?
I'm not sure. I know Live Die Repeat is. It's based off of a manga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought with Oppenheimer coming up, I'd Google some facts about Christopher Nolan's earlier films. And this is not a question. This was not a IMDb fun fact I could reverse engineer into a question, but I need to read this to you. I think this is so funny. The initial meeting between director Christopher Nolan and Robert Pattinson about Tenet lasted 3 hours. Pattinson explained that by the end of the meeting, he had a massive blood sugar drop because they had been talking so much and he had been concentrating so hard. He asked Nolan for a chocolate that was on the table in front of them, and then the director immediately ended the meeting. Pattinson thought that he had ruined his opportunity to have a part in the film.
How dare you ask for chocolate?
Right. What is the chocolate doing there if he's not allowed to eat it? I'm sure this is coincidental.
Cake was a lie.
He asked for a chocolate, and Christopher Nolan also realizes, wait, we've been here for 3 hours. I have something else I need to do. It's been great talking to you, Bobby. I'll see you later. Maybe you'll be in Tenet. It's the idea of, can I have a chocolate? Robert, this meeting is over.
Wow.
I love it. Needed to share that.
I
Question.
No, I was just going to say back to the merry-go-round thing. I didn't feel like something like Tenet would have a code name like merry-go-round.
Yeah,
I feel like
very frivolous.
For me, it was the opposite. I thought which movie would or which director would have a working title. So,
But Tenet means
what?
nothing to no one. It's not going to be like, oh, they're doing
But it is
Tenet.
Christopher
But
Nolan.
it's an adaptation of Tenet.
Yeah, but it's Christopher
What
Nolan.
does that even mean? I don't know.
I don't know. People
I-
are looking at his work, trying
Well-
to see what
well-
he's doing next. I don't know.
A lot of the IMDb fun facts were about how long this idea had been gestating in Christopher Nolan's head. So it
Hmm.
might have been called Merry-Go-Round in like 2014 when he was just coming up with it. And then he's
I
like,
gotcha.
wait a minute, I got to stuff this thing full of palindromes. Let me Google
Yeah.
palindromes.
Yep.
Indeed.
Speaking of renowned directors, question 6. According to IMDb, just because that was the easiest way for me to look up this list of films and have all the scores right there. According to IMDb, what is Steven Spielberg's lowest rated film?
Mm.
Is it the World War II comedy 1941? Is it the Mutt Williams vehicle Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull? Is it the movie where Richard Dreyfuss dies and then becomes a ghost, who watches people fly planes around? Always. The movie's called Always. Or is it the movie where aliens are defeated by germs? It's that War of the Worlds adaptation. Which of these
Oh,
is Spielberg's
yeah.
lowest rated film? 1941, Crystal Skull, Always, or War of the Worlds?
Yeah, it's not the one that I thought it would be.
I definitely did not like Crystal Skull. I remember there kind of being a backlash to War of the Worlds, but I don't think that I don't think I've ever heard of Always. So I'm gonna go with that one in hopes that this was just like it was that bad that people just didn't talk about it.
Can you give me the descriptions of Always on the 1941?
Yes. Always. The spirit of a recently deceased expert pilot mentors a newer pilot while watching him fall in love with the girlfriend that he left behind. Richard Dreyfuss is a ghost. He died in a plane crash. He's watching over his girlfriend, Holly Hunter, and then he is from beyond the grave, sort of maneuvering a new pilot around into being a good pilot. And he sees this new pilot and Holly Hunter falling in love. And he's like, let him have it. Love is for the living. I'm Richard Dreyfuss and I'm dead. 1941. Let me look this up for you. Hysterical Californians prepare for a Japanese invasion in the days after Pearl Harbor.
But that's it?
That's what IMDb said. One sentence.
Interesting.
I'll go 1941.
I think the fact that the IMDb is only a single vague sentence is pretty leading. The answer is 1941 with a score of 5.8.
Oh, yeah.
For
you
reference,
go.
Crystal Skull had 6.2, Always had 6.4, and War of the Worlds had 6.5. So there was quite a margin that made 1941 the lowest rated movie.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Crystal Skull
Quest-
should have been higher.
Question 7. Which of these surprisingly mundane movie costume items can be found in the Smithsonian collection? You go to the Smithsonian and you see things like the Dorothy's ruby slippers, like really important pop culture memorabilia. And I was looking through the list of Smithsonian holdings. I don't think I was able to find a list of everything. The Smithsonian is huge, but I did a decent amount of research. And I stumbled across this one piece. I'm like, really? That? You made sure you wanted to get that? So which of these surprisingly mundane items does the Smithsonian have? Is it A, Luke Skywalker's poncho from Star Wars, A New Hope? B, Jimmy Olsen's bow tie from Superman 4, The Quest for Peace? C, one of Melissa McCarthy's big bowling shirts she wears in the movie Bridesmaids? Or D, the socks Tom Cruise wears when he slides across the floor in Risky Business?
The question is which one they have or which one
Which one does the Smithsonian have?
Which one they actually
Is it a poncho, a bow tie, a big bowling shirt, or some mischief socks?
I feel like the most of all these mundane things, the most what I feel like important stuff that you would want in a museum would be the socks. I'm gonna go with the socks.
I'm wondering, I'm trying to picture all of this being displayed. And I cannot imagine them displaying some socks.
Cardboard cutout of Tom Cruise, like he's sliding, right?
Since it's the Smithsonian, I'll go with Luke Skywalker's poncho.
I believe they do have some items from Star Wars. They have a pretty sizable Star Wars collection, but the real item that made me stop in my tracks was Jimmy Olsen's bow tie from Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. Not even from the original Superman movie. It's Quest for Peace. Why? And for the record, they do have a pair of socks in the Smithsonian. It's the socks Joel Grey wore as the MC Cabaret. They have his entire costume, every piece down to the socks. And they're just like plain black socks. I can't tell those are socks worn in an Oscar-winning role.
Right.
Question 8. The final major movie released on Betamax format back in the 90s just so happens to be a movie we covered on the review show. What movie was it? Was it Mission Impossible, Titanic, Twister, or The Fifth Element?
I'm gonna go with The Fifth Element.
See, I'm between Twister and Titanic. Because Twister is such a wild one, and I feel like I've heard this one before. But then Titanic is Titanic. I'll go with Titanic since you have some topical questions over here. So I'll go Titanic.
It was the first Mission Impossible movie.
Really?
Yeah, in like 96 or 97. The final major movie released on VHS, by the way, is A History of Violence, which was tougher for me to write a question about. That's what I started Googling. I'm like, no, let me see what was on Betamax.
Amazing. Because like I feel like, I mean, I don't remember if Betamax was much of a like better quality than VHS.
I think it was.
That's why I would have been like, you want to see something like The Fifth Element to see all of the effects and the sci-fi makeup and costumes and stuff. Like, you want to see it a little bit.
If you watch it on VHS, you can only see 4 elements.
Right, exactly. You need that 5th one.
They're going to come out with another physical home media format, and they're going to re-release Fifth Element, and they're like, finally, we could have added a 6th. You buy an 8K disc, you're seeing the 6th element. Never before seen.
Melissa, that would actually be a great idea for a podcast, is to do like a movie review podcast where everything is like the names of each movie is like the first something, the second something, the fourth something, the 5th element, the 6th sense, the
we see how high we can go.
Right? Yeah,
that would be fun.
That'd be an interesting thing.
I have thought about doing that on the review show. It's just like it's numbers this week. The whole month of numbers.
Good stuff.
Question 9. Which of these horror movies has not been turned into a Broadway stage musical? 3 of these have. One of them has not. Please name the imposter. Is it one? Is it A, Evil Dead, B, Carrie, C, Suspiria, or D, American Psycho?
Suspiria.
Okay,
Yeah,
you say
can-
Suspiria has not been turned into a musical.
Can you repeat the answers once again?
Evil Dead, Carrie, Suspiria, and American Psycho.
I'm also gonna go with Suspiria.
You guys are both right. Suspiria is already about a
Suspiria.
ballet. It feels like it should be a musical.
I have no
It is
idea
not
what-
yet. We watched it once on the review show. We watched the original version and the remake from the last handful of years, both of which are a real head trip in like such different ways.
Yeah. Witches.
But no, seek it out in your local theater. You could see musicals based on Evil Dead, Carrie, or American Psycho.
I knew there was one for American Psycho. I knew there was one for Carrie. And I felt like Evil Dead would have one. Like they have such a good, like they have such a rabid fan base in the best way possible that I feel like someone out there would make a musical of that. But Suspiria was also just like dark and depressing. Like that's not something you want to sing about.
The remake is the first one's. Well, I don't know if it's happier, but it is much more colorful.
Kyle, before we go into the last question, can you give us? Can you tally up the points?
This is a good time
the
for it.
tally right now. I have 9 points. Melissa, you also have 9 points. Ignacio, I have you as 10 points.
Wow.
Ignacio is in the lead. There's one question left. I could tie it up if I get this
You could
right and
tie it up.
Ignacio does not. But I don't know. We'll see.
So, do you remember my final question last year? It was still multiple choice, but I had like 12 things. I wanted to do the same thing again. I think this bombardment of answers is very fun.
Okay.
So the question is, you know, James Bond. These movies are based off of the novels of Ian Fleming. Yes.
Yeah.
And some Bond movies are direct adaptations of Ian Fleming novels or short stories.
Yep.
Other ones are original stories, but they just take a title from something in Ian Fleming's catalog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, which Ian Fleming James Bond story title has not yet been used for a movie? Over the many years that there have been James Bond movies, what couple Ian Fleming works have not yet had their titles pulled to be a big screen movie? Is it James Bond in Twice on Sunday? James Bond in To Catch Your Death? James Bond in Consequence of a Kiss? James Bond in Crime in Memoriam? James Bond in Silver Tongue? James Bond in Salutations to Forever? James Bond in The Property of a Lady? James Bond in Trouble Suits You? James Bond in Privy to Catastrophe? James Bond in The Devil's Secondment? James Bond in To All Four Corners? Or James Bond in Think of Danger, Think of Me? One of those is real.
Oh wait, only one was real?
One is real. One is real. The rest are Melissa fabrications.
Can you read it again? I was thinking
absolutely.
Which one? I thought that they were all real, and then which one was
no. There are very few Ian Fleming titles left to pull for future Bond adaptations. One of them is in this.
Okay.
So the titles are.
So one of these is the title of an Ian Fleming work, but it has not been turned into a movie.
Yes, yes. Or like
Okay.
sometimes they will. Sometimes the screenwriters will write an original story for Bond, and they're like, I don't know what to call it, and they'll like look through old
Yeah.
Ian Fleming novels and say, that's the title nobody's using. I don't think anybody's going to adapt the story. I'll just pick up the title and stick it on this original screenplay.
So one of these is the title of an Ian Fleming work, but it's not the title of a James Bond movie.
Correct. Has not yet been used.
Okay.
The titles are Twice on Sunday, To Catch Your Death, Consequence of a Kiss, Crime in Memoriam, Silver Tongue, Salutations to Forever, The Property of a Lady, Trouble Suits You, Privy to Catastrophe, The Devil's Secondment, To All Four Corners, and Think of Danger, Think of Me.
I'll go The Consequence of a Kiss. That was one?
You think that's the real one?
Yeah.
Oh man, so a couple of these are really good. I'm just like, yeah, I could see that. I could see it. I don't know. There's some. I'm like, that sounds maybe a little more like Sherlock Holmes. There's some I have no idea what they are. I'm gonna go Twice on Sunday.
I got it. He got it.
The real James Bond story
didn't-
written by Ian
didn't get
Fleming
this.
is The Property of a Lady.
Okay. Okay, the first run that you did, The Property of a Lady was my answer without really understanding what the question was.
Oh. Yeah,
Anyways.
let me double check. That was, I mean, yes, I mean, of course I double checked. I know what's real. Yeah, The Property of the Lady is, I think, a short story he wrote that is like nobody has picked up that title yet. It's that, and I think like the Hildebrand rarity. There's like 2 titles nobody's used before. And every time a new Bond movie is rumored, the James Bond podcast I listen to is always like, are they going to pick one of those? They're right there. The Silver Tongue is a song by the band Young the Giant. Everything else I made up. It was very fun to just let myself make up fake Bond adventures.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
So thank you for indulging me in that.
Ignacio Rojas, you are the champion.
Yeah, we were wondering if I had
are
any of these.
indeed the champion. I think
We were all very close.
Yeah.
yes, 9, 9, and 10. Good stuff.
9, 9, and 9, 9, and 10. It's never been that close before.
Yeah. Ignacio, would you like to thank your family, your friends?
I'd like to thank the Academy. Of
Mhm,
course, I wouldn't be anything without them. My supporting cast, the crew that's working outside of the camera. Of course,
Mhm.
they were always great, giving
Hard at
me all
work.
the answers and all that stuff. And I'd like to thank, of course, our great pancakes we have over here. That are none like yours. And
Ignacio,
shout out to Sweet Popcorn. Big shout out.
If you send me a recipe that is in American measurements, I will cook the recipe, but I won't translate the math.
I can give you a recipe that's very easy. It's
okay.
Really just it's two eggs, then you pour in flour and milk, but you start pouring it to the point that you get a little bit of resistance, but not a lot of resistance. And then on top of that, you do a cup of sugar. Then you mix that all that. That's everything, and then you just throw it.
That's everything.
That's pancakes.
Yep,
Mister. That Mountain Dew doesn't have real flavor; it just has sugar. Is like you gotta love our pancakes. There's a cup of sugar in there and no other flavoring.
Yep,
which is also how we make them over here. Basically,
yeah, pancakes have sugar.
I think.
Anyways,
That does sound like a slightly higher sugar level than our pancakes have, but not enough that it's made.
Yeah.
I mean, I can give you a recipe with measurements, but the one that has worked for me lately is just pour milk and pour flour to the point where you have a certain consistency where you do not get that much of a resistance, and then once you go and heat it up in a pan, that it looks good.
Yeah.
And then a cup of sugar.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to truly make myself international pancakes. I'm going to Google different types of pancakes from around the world, Chile and elsewhere, and make them in my own kitchen and truly see.
That's my mom's recipe. There's no real recipe that you'll get over here. I'm sure that you can.
I'm gonna go to like Reader's Digest Chile and see like what's Chile's test kitchen recommending.
I mean, if you want some good
go around the world,
I can give you some recipes.
I want the pancakes.
Anyways,
I need to experience the difference between all these pancakes.
Ignacio's victory with a Spider-Man dance party. So here we go.
We never bring this out. Yes.
Spider-Man dance party. Here we go. Yeah, Spider-Man's on screen, twerking, shaking, dancing. It's great.
Wait, really?
Oh yeah, all over the screen, baby.
Feel his presence. Spider-Man's here.
Spider-Man was twerking all over your face, Ignacio. It was great.
I'm gonna pull up the Twitch.
Man, I'm so mad that we didn't do that on our Spider-Verse spoiler cast. I was like, oh, we should have done one on there. It was great. But oh well. There you go. Ignacio is champion this year for our trivia night. I had a blast. That was a lot of fun. But that is it for this week. So, Melissa, where can the people find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at WilkyWit. That's WILKYWIT. Listen to my other podcast, Saturday Morning Obscurities. And if you enjoyed this, there are like 3 other trivia nights we've done every late June for the last several years. It's a lot of fun doing these. I have a lot of fun writing questions. So There's more of this out there for you.
Absolutely. Ignacio, where can the people find you?
They can find me on Twitter at Ignacio Rojasb. That's IGNACIOROJASB.
There you go. And if you guys would like to follow me, I am at Kyle Springer on Twitter. If you'd like to stay up to date with all of the stuff that we do here at The Whatnauts, we are at The Whatnauts on Twitter. So please go like, share, and subscribe. That would help us out a ton. Plenty more videos right there over there on that side of the screen if you're watching this on YouTube. Go click on that. That would help us out a ton. But this has been number 242 of the Captain's Log. We will see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.